Are we rolling?
Mm-hmm.
Hold up.
You could like say hi.
Hi.
I'm Dan.
I'm Dan.
Bronies for Chaos.
Bronies for Chaos.
Hey Dan, Bronies for Chaos.
Yeah. This is Ryan.
Hey Ryan.
And we are here with
We are here with Brian and
Brynna.
Okay, Brynna Drummond.
Cool.
Yes. So pretty much you in Dragon Ball Z, obviously.
I did. That was one of the first anime gig that I got back in, I guess it was almost end of 1993, early 94.
Mm-hmm.
And started screaming my lungs out way back then, before you were even a twinkle in your father's eye. So before your time. So it was quite a while ago, and yeah, I've been doing bits and pieces of it ever since. So obviously we did a good chunk of stuff up in Vancouver, Canada, in the early in that mid '90s part, and then up to through the sort of the Cell Saga, and then Funimation moved things down to Dallas and picked it up with a new cast and crew down there, and then it ended up coming back, and we continued sort of where we left off in Canada. And there's sort of two full runs of DBZ out there, an Ocean dub and a Funimation dub. And most of ours, the dub that we did that's what the Canadian contingent saw, like on ITV or Teletoon in Canada, and then I believe also in England, quite possibly a couple of other English-speaking places like England, Ireland as well. I'm not sure. I think Australia had the American dub, but I'm not positive about that. But yeah, a couple of different dubs out there, and it's been fun. Been doing Vegeta for a long time, and then of course the bizarre over 9,000 meme came about and out of nowhere, and that was the way they wanted the line delivered. That's how we did it. Fit those flaps, make sure you fit those long over 9,000. Okay, that's how long the flap it is. I'll stretch it out that long.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And it's lived on.
Yeah,
super fun. He's been he's always in my top three of top 3 to 5 characters I've ever played, and one of the hardest on my voice because of the screaming involved. But it's great because he's got quite a journey as a character, like from badass to being one of the good guys to don't know if you trust him, to being trustworthy, to being a father and a husband, and it's all that kind of bizarre stuff that's happened. It's a pretty cool run.
So you have 3 kids.
Yes.
And they're all VAs.
Yeah, they've all done voiceover work. Aiden's currently doing stuff right now. He's working on stuff in Vancouver, and Brynna's done. You've done work as well, obviously, with a couple spots on My Little Pony, and what's one of the other ones that you just finished up, that series, which I think so. Yeah, it's on the phone. Yeah, the Peter Pan.
Yeah, that.
Yeah, she plays John on a Peter Pan animated sort of CG series that's out there. And a couple other bits and pieces of the dubbing things. Her youngest sister, Aiden's the oldest, then Brynna, and then Ashlyn plays and for a number of movies, although she's older now, so her voice sounds a little bit older, but when she was younger, sort of 10 through age 13, or maybe even 9 through 13, when she is now, voice of Chelsea, the youngest sister of Barbie, in a number of the Barbie movies, and they've done a ton of different Barbie movies, so she was probably in half a dozen different ones of those recently, and as well she was on Martha Speaks with me in the final season of Martha Speaks that we did. And Martha Speaks is an animated series, PBS series for preschoolers and early grade school kids, and she played one of the kids on that TV series with me.
That's the one where the dog eats the alphabet soup.
And Tabitha St. Germain plays Martha.
That's awesome.
And I played the dad in the household, and Ashton played Alice, who's one of the friends of the kid in the house who's Martha's family.
That's cool.
And then Aiden, he's done tons of stuff too, from stuff on Inuyasha to all sorts of Barbie movie stuff to another series that he's just working on, which I don't think he's allowed to talk about that one yet, to other bits and pieces, and from Dinosaur Train and recently to...
I can't stand that shit. And like every VA
it's not
has
for you.
been on that one part. I cannot stand it.
Yeah, that's a show that's meant for small children, kind of like My Little Pony. Anyways, no.
Don't worry. None of us watch cartoons here.
Yeah, no.
And he said that you did more than one role on My Little Pony, right? No?
More than one episode.
No, yeah. I was in two episodes.
For sure. And you're Babs.
That's correct.
Babseed.
Dude.
Yeah.
Let's hear the voice. Let's come on. It's something.
Just something, or
Yeah. What did she say? Oh, babies, I don't know.
She says, telling your mother about your bad attitudes. You know, she's really tough, but she's shy. So
Yeah.
she's got a lot of mixed emotions in her first episode, I'd say.
Yeah.
For sure.
She learns. She has a journey.
Yeah, it's a learning experience.
It's almost like character development.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
All right, so this is a little game we play with everyone. It is favorites. So we start off, favorite color.
Green.
Why?
Why green? It's earth colors. I don't know. I like it. Grew up in an interior BC, lots of forests and green. I don't. It's green, and my eyes are greenish.
Okay.
So just green everything, huh?
Yeah.
Cool.
And yourself?
Probably blue.
Why?
I don't know. I like nice light pastel-y, and I like the sky, and yeah.
The sky
She's
is
a
pretty good.
daydreamer.
Yeah.
All right, favorite food.
Favorite food. That's always a hard one. 'Cause I like
Aw.
lots of different stuff.
I could eat everything.
If I had to sort of someone put me somewhere and I had to have something, it would probably have to be just a great burger, which we're about to do after this. We're going to go to In-N-Out after this.
Yes.
We're doing it because I've never been, and everybody keeps telling me we're doing it after. But I think if I got trapped somewhere and just something that had to come to me, I think it would be just an incredible burger is what I would want.
How about you?
Oh, that's so hard. Okay.
You're a salad girl. You have probably
I
chocolate
like,
later.
yeah. I'm healthy. I like salads with the nuts and the fruits and
Okay.
all that stuff.
For sure. And you were saying In-N-Out. You know about the secret menu, right?
What she told me yesterday? Something called animal style,
Yeah.
something like that.
Animal style is the only way to get it.
So you get like a double
animal style with animal style fries.
With animal style fries.
Yes.
It's basically what? Just Thousand Island on everything?
It's Thousand Island. Well, for the fries, it's a thing of cheese and Thousand Island on it, and it's just
grilled onions?
delicious.
Yeah,
Yeah, grilled onions as well. And
I
it's
can't
delicious.
stand it now. I think it's so overrated.
And then
There you go. See,
So, but I'm
it's
in
been
my-
built up so
I
big.
am
I'm
a
worried.
minority
it's
there.
I'm
a
worried
really
now.
it's a really really good. I think you actually told me this, and I agree. It's a really really good trash burger.
Yeah.
It's
If you
just
compare it to McDonald's, it's really good. If you compare it to,
oh yeah, if what, Five Guys.
So like
yeah, I wouldn't say it's better than like Five Guys or any sit-down restaurant.
yeah.
But
Yeah.
compared to fast food, it's way better. But it's not
and all their stuff is organic.
99-cent burger either.
Yeah.
It's how much is it? Like $5 burger?
Yeah, like maybe.
And, like,
I mean,
$2
I get
for
the
fries, $1 for a Coke or something. So.
yeah.
Well, we'll find out this afternoon what
Yeah.
all the hype is about. I might be like, meh. Or I might be like, yeah, that was good. I'm really hungry, so that's probably going to make it even better.
Well, everything's good.
Yeah.
There is. There's also like on the menu. I think there's only the hamburger cheeseburger double.
Yeah.
But there's also like grilled cheese, the Flying Dutchman, the protein burger,
Oh, wow.
veggie burger. Yeah, like
Wow.
there's a whole secret menu. And if you ask them, we don't have a secret menu.
And you
That
don't
was
have to
it.
stop at double. You can get like a 50-50.
I think they actually stopped the 50-50 though.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
I actually remember in high school someone got like 80 by 80.
Yeah.
And it's like, dude, that is stupid. It's like
They-
this big, and it's patty bun,
Yeah.
patty bun. And I'm like,
Yeah.
why?
They actually
How
stopped.
are you? Just order 10 burgers.
Right.
Why stack them all up?
Because you can.
I guess.
Because you can,
Just
and
to
it's
say you did.
delicious. Yeah, no, they actually stopped that because I think it was the 50-50 was where people would actually order it, and then like they wouldn't actually pay for it because it would come to the house, and they would like do the catering for the 50-50
Oh,
or something
okay,
like
yeah.
that.
Oh, weird.
But there was 100, and yeah, patty bun, everything, and somebody died from it. They sat down, ate it. Well, they had a really good way. So they don't have
to die on my way out of San
No,
Francisco
you want
today.
it.
Yeah. No
well-
danger in the double. It's not good. It's
No,
not good.
no.
That's
I
kind
don't.
of a good way to die, though.
Maybe.
I guess.
I don't know.
Well, I mean, if you
Usually
want
when
the
you overdo,
burger.
you're like,
I'd rather die full than hungry.
yeah, I guess so.
It's not like he died by getting hit by a bus or something. He just ate too much.
Like Mean Girls.
Yeah.
But she didn't die, did she? She just wound up in the hospital.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were like, just
One of
kidding.
those
She just got like.
Yeah,
broke everybody.
everything.
Alright, so dream car.
Dream car?
Yes.
I think probably be a black 911 turbo.
Nice.
That's probably what would be the.
I saw a Lamborghini in the parking structure earlier today. I'm like, why?
What kind of Lamborghini?
I don't know, red?
Oh, okay.
I used to be a huge Lambo fan as a kid, and I've grown out of them more. I think there's some Ferraris that I think are fantastic. One of the studios, Ocean Studios, actually, in Vancouver, is surrounded by all the. Just happens to be one studio that's on every side of it, and all around it is all the sort of premium luxury automobiles. So the high-end Lexus, the Lambos, the modern Maseratis, Rolls Royce, they're all kind of right around that neighborhood where that studio is. So you go there all the time and kind of. Drool on the window, or steam it up a little bit. It's kind of doing that kind of stuff. But.
See the steam.
Yeah, exactly. There's probably real high-end cars that I could think, but it's almost not a dream car because I know I wouldn't want to drive it.
Yeah.
I'd be too worried about because it's rainy and wet and sometimes kind of bizarre weather in Vancouver. I'd want something that I feel like I could be in a lot and really enjoy it, and that's why I'd probably go with a Porsche.
And every time you go to the grocery store, you freak out because someone's going to dent it.
Yeah, I don't park a mile away, but I wouldn't feel that afraid. It's something like a 911. I wouldn't because it's common enough, but still amazing enough that that would just be great to have.
Yeah.
Any kind of a dream car? I know you want.
You do?
Yeah, think about Hawaii. What those things that you.
Oh, I like those.
Yeah.
The huge.
She likes those
like RV type things.
She likes those Volkswagen little minivans, like the ones with surfboards on the top.
Oh, Volkswagen bus.
Yeah, the Volkswagen bus.
Those
Yeah.
ones. I also like trucks though too because then because I like art, so then I can put a bunch of huge materials in the back.
Yeah.
Or easels, but I do love those.
And she'll slide open. Look, there's a little tiny kitchen in there.
I
Some
know.
of those ones.
Those were the VW camper buses.
Yeah,
those
those
were
ones,
cool.
yeah.
They got the
Yeah,
back.
a celebrity, I don't remember who it was on like Leno or something showing his like 1972 VW camper bus.
Yeah.
It is amazing. It is absolutely beautiful.
Well, and his stuff too. If he has anything that's vintage, it's like all original and perfect paint because he spends just a fortune on everything.
Yeah.
Oh, Leno has what,
Great.
200 cars?
Yeah.
Easily.
He has one
dude.
for every day of the year.
Dude,
Yeah.
you know he actually has the, I think it's called the Willis or the Willie or something like that, where it literally is two boilers in the front of the car and it runs off of water. It's a steam car. It's so cool.
He's got it. Well, you got money. What are you gonna do?
Right.
Buy a
cars.
steam car.
Yeah.
Alright, favorite vacation or dream vacation? Dream vacation or best vacation so far? Your choice.
Ooh.
Wow.
Can you say both?
Sure.
Or just, okay.
You go first. Oh, you want me to go first?
Sure, go for it.
Well, I think probably best vacation so far. We just recently did a big London Paris trip, which was awesome.
That's cool.
That was fantastic, but still a little stressful because you've got so much to do all the time and so many sights to see. So relaxed wise, I'm still probably say Hawaii is probably the best. But because I love a nice beach place, I'd like to do sort of since I've done Hawaii, I think if I had to choose one, I'd want to do a Caribbean one or like Bora Bora or something like that. Just one of those ones where you see the
Yeah,
picturesque
that's where I would want to
water.
go. It's
Yeah.
way cheaper than Hawaii.
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah, well,
Oh, when you're there, but
Yeah.
getting there.
oh yeah.
Like I don't. Sometimes it's the getting there because Vancouver, it's West Coast, and here a flight to Hawaii is nothing
Yeah.
right, compared to trying to get to the other side of the country and then the hop the flights there. Once you're there, they're cheaper, but
Yeah.
Yeah.
it depends how long you're going for. If you're going to stay, maybe Bora Bora.
All right, and
What are you doing? Well, what
oh,
were you going to say? Where
I'm
you
sorry.
favorite place? Where do you want to go?
Probably either Ireland or New Zealand.
Well, you guys were in England. Why didn't you hop over the pond?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we had been. My wife and I had been to Ireland a while ago, so we couldn't quite squeeze that into the trip. We just London and Paris was the big stop. So.
Why New Zealand? What caught your attention?
Oh, she looked at
The Hobbit is still there. And it looks nice. It's
Yeah.
very, open space, all the greenery.
Mm-hmm.
And they listen to the Flight of the Conchords all the time.
That helps. Yeah.
You know, they've got more sheep per capita than anywhere else in the world. There's
More
like,
sheep than people.
yeah, they've got like 10 to 20 sheep per person in New Zealand.
I
Yeah.
love sheep.
There you go. Even better.
Forget Ireland, just go straight to New Zealand.
Yeah.
And you done live action, correct?
Small amount.
Oh,
In the,
small amount.
yeah, mid 90s. I graduated from theater school in 91 and did stage. We toured shows like children's theater and throughout the U.S. and then did local stage theater or stage shows in Vancouver. And then while I was in Vancouver, they it's sort of Hollywood North. They still film a lot of stuff there. So I had bit parts on X-Files and Stargate and
Cool.
Smallville and all that stuff that was filmed up there. But I played cops and FBI guys and all that kind of stuff so often. It wasn't,
To be like cop number 2.
yeah, well, some of them have names. It'd be Agent whoever or Officer so-and-so. They'd have names, but just enough that they're guys that were delivering information, and whether it be for an episode or two or whatever, it was not.
So
It-
enough
not
to
that-
build a resume, but not brag about.
No, yeah, well, enough to get, and not even, build a resume so much, as you get paid for it and you do all right, but once I discovered voiceover and that it, paid as well as film, but I could do the exciting type of
Yeah.
different roles that you get to do in
That brings me
theater.
into the question:
That's what
what's
I
your
loved.
thoughts about live action versus voice acting?
Oh, well,
Preferences, opinions.
well, if I could have really juicy roles in live action, it would be a blast. But as I had a growing family and younger kids, I loved doing the voice acting work because voice acting is the hours are fantastic. Like, I mean, they don't, we don't record hardly ever on weekends, never on holidays, never start ever usually before 8:30 or 9, wrapped up by 5 or 6 on most days. It's not 16-hour days and you don't know where you're going and you're driving out in the middle of nowhere. Studios are all centrally located in the city. That's all, and we're paid well to do what we do. So, plus you get to do multiple characters, and no one cares what you look like when you show up. You don't have to get all gussied up or 3 hours in a trailer
Right,
first.
slippers and sweats on.
Yeah, you could just show up in your pajamas as long as your voice
house
is
ready.
ready to go. Yeah, if your voice is ready to go, it doesn't really matter. And that's what I loved about it. And actually, there's
Oh,
the people
shit,
is
today.
yeah, exactly. The people is a big part of it too, because there's no egos in that I've come across in voice. Everybody is just chill, and you met different voice actors
Yeah.
here, stuff that most there's not really a pile of egos in it that you're like, oh man, don't get out of their way.
Yeah.
Whereas in on camera work, you run into a lot more of that, where there's some prima donnas that have certain ways that things have to be done. Don't look them in the eye, all this kind of stuff. They got to have this kind of food. It just
Only brown M&Ms.
Yeah, exactly. And something can be pretty wild and
I remember that. Like,
Just
Only
don't remember
sparkling water.
yeah, exactly. But it's just it doesn't
this brand.
exist. So I'd take the voiceover work any day, unless somehow I knew I was going to be doing some really crazy cool stuff in film and be able to have a little more control of the schedule.
Okay.
For sure. Now, you said you've done theater, and
Yeah.
you were in theater.
Mhm.
Do you do theater? Or have you
Theater or
been
like
in theater?
live,
or
like,
Live
on
theater, yeah.
camera and stuff?
Live
Um,
theater, not
yeah.
on camera.
live theater? Shoot, I'll even take drama class if you've been in it.
In school, yeah.
Yeah.
Done lots of plays in school. The most recent ones for the past 3 years. We did Peter Pan. I was Tinkerbell. I think just last year we did Alice in Wonderland. We had 3 different Alices, and I was one of them.
Interesting.
May I
And
ask why 3 different Alices?
I don't know. I think it was because there were so many lines, probably, so they're splitting it up.
Okay.
So one of the Alices did like the first scene where she's at home and she's just discovering the Wonderland, and then I was happy I was the second one because then I was just in Wonderland. I got all the wacky stuff,
Yeah.
and then the last one was leaving. So
Well, that's pretty cool. They split it up by the portal.
yeah,
And it's a way to not have too many young girls upset about who got
Yeah.
Alice in the play when they can split it up among three people that wanted
yeah.
Alice in the play.
Yeah.
Also relieves a lot of stress on the actors too.
Yeah, well, yeah, because that's the one role that was throughout the whole show. All the other
Yeah.
characters kind of come and go, but Alice is just loaded with a mountain of lines. So
Of
for a school
course.
play, if you could, and they all wore the same costume and kind of looked similar when they came out, but it's not like nobody knew. It's like you knew right away that it's a different Alice, but you still knew that's Alice, and you just
Of
followed
course.
through it. It worked out well.
Yeah.
Kind of like that. What was the movie where Heath Ledger passed away and they had to kind
Oh,
of
the
Imaginary of
Imaginary
Dr.
Dr.
Parnassus.
Parnassus.
yeah, they had to kind of change him, and like there were 3 or 4 actors that played his role, and
yeah.
you still you buy it.
Of course.
I think they actually did the same thing when they were in the.
The one world, it was
Yeah, when it was in a
It-
different world, it would be one actor.
yeah, they just changed it
Yeah,
every time.
so it's like you sort of accept the difference.
Yeah.
Because,
It was
Well,
sort of on the other side
yeah.
of the mirror kind of thing. Yeah.
I like how they threw that loophole in there. They actually say it in the movie is the reason why he looks different. Like he sees himself and he's like, "What's going on?"
Yeah.
Is because it's actually their the person's subconscious, and it's how they
their
perceive the
self-image.
world.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
they see people differently than how you see yourself. So it's like,
Cool.
yeah, I thought that was brilliant in writing.
Cool. And now you're doing, was it 12th Night? No.
Midsummer Night's Dream.
Midsummer Night's Dream. Yeah, that's the one. you're
Another
thinking
fairy and Puck.
oh, you're pop.
of. Yeah.
Yeah.
My friend did pop in high school.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's awesome. Now, work versus school. How are you doing with that?
I'd say good. It's going good. I'm definitely not as busy as my dad or anything.
Mhm.
Like I have quite few work. It's like once in a while I get an audition or something, which is great, and then I might get the part and start, doing stuff like this. But it's a little more rare for me.
Mm-hmm.
And the recording studios, some of them are pretty good about timing of it as well. Like if it's a dubbing session, they'll kind of ask, "Hey, Dan, it's better than another," and they'll call the book and they'll say, "Well, Brynna, do you have any tests coming up?" Say, "Yeah, I got a test tomorrow." So try not to book it on that day. Let's say, "Sure, we'll schedule on Wednesday instead of
Because
Tuesday."
I
So
know
yeah.
a
we'll
lot
move
of,
it around a bit.
a
for
lot
kids.
of younger kids, they end up going homeschool.
Yeah, well, and that's usually if you're going to be missing more than sort of 2 to 3 days a week, and that's one thing about voiceover. It's never that intense.
Yeah.
Even for some of the main girls that are playing, the Cutie Mark Crusaders or whatever on
Yeah.
My Little
Mhm.
Pony. My Little Pony's only recorded once or twice a month, and if they're ever in it, it's like it's a day,
Yeah.
or so they might miss a day, maybe 2 a month out of school, and that's not bad. It's
Yeah.
when you're on a TV series and you
Yeah.
start missing two to 3 days a week.
Yeah.
It's actually a government requirement. If you're missing 3 days of school a week, they have to provide tutors on set for you,
Oh, wow.
and you have to be tutored on set, and that's the law. So if you're booked only 2 days a week on a TV show, you can get away with it and try and figure out with your own school how to manage your workload. But if it's a third day gets booked in a week, then they have to provide tutors for every day that you're on set.
Yeah.
And it's a certain percentage of the time is tutoring, a certain percentage of the time you're allowed to be working on the film.
Mhm.
But it's not nearly that busy for voiceover
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
kids in the city.
Yeah. When did you start? You said you were in '93 or so.
Yeah,
From-
for voiceover work. Yeah.
Yeah. When did you start?
With what was it that like baby lotion thing?
Oh, as acting, you mean,
Well,
or voiceover?
I don't know.
Were you in
Yeah,
like
she
TV
did.
commercials?
She did. We did commercials, and as a kid, the first one actually in our whole family, even though your brother's older, that actually did anything as an actor, and she was a baby in a commercial, and it was this commercial that had, somebody, you just sort of see the hands as if the camera was here, and someone was dancing with a bride, and someone was playing with a puppy, and then you see a hand driving in a car, and it was all about sort of these different times in your life.
Yeah.
And my hands were actually the hands in the video, and they cast me as the hands because they cast her as the baby.
Yeah.
And this baby had to get thrown up like this and caught.
Yeah.
And they thought, you know what, maybe better not get some other actor to,
Yeah.
the hands do that. So my hands were the ones that threw the baby and caught this little baby that was giggling and played with a puppy and then danced with this bride and drove a car and
Yeah.
stuff like that.
Okay.
So
You know what?
that was when you were 6 months old, I think.
I believe I remember that commercial.
You may, yeah. It was
Yeah.
for, what was it? It was
Like some sort of life insurance.
yeah,
or
I think
bank
so.
or something,
I think
yeah.
so. Either a bank or life insurance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
It ran for a
remember
while. Yeah.
I would have thought it'd be like for a camera, like keep those memories or something.
Yeah, I don't know. It was just something about things change in your life, and we grew with you. It was one
Exactly,
of those
yeah.
kind of feeling, yeah, something like that.
And
But
then
voiceover you started when, probably not until you were about maybe 11, 12, or 11 maybe. You might have done some stuff.
a little
from
younger
other-
than Ashland now.
Yeah, probably 10 or 11, dubbing different shows or anime. I know you did probably a little part on Inuyasha, didn't you? Something small.
Yeah. I was a wolf demon.
Some wolf demon boy or something.
Wolf
And
demon.
yeah, you get cast.
Wait, a wolf demon boy, like the small tiny one that's in there?
I don't know. Well, no, it was,
It's just like I think one episode.
in one episode where they
Oh,
needed some
okay.
young kids, like really young sounding boys.
Yeah, I've had a little younger brother that got caught by this giant moth thing.
Okay.
I was like, no, save it. I remember rewatching it.
Yeah, and she part as well. She finished up. Her brother was, I think they called him Iron Kid, but he was also known as Eon Kid, and Aiden played that role, and he did it for I don't know 18 months and did a ton of episodes of it, and then about 2 years later they were redistributing it somewhere else. So he did it when he was 11, 12. A couple years later, Aiden was 14. They came back to redistribute it again somewhere else, but wanted to pick up some things, and they added some stuff back that had been edited out.
Yeah.
And they wanted him to pick it up and add this. And it was like, he's 14 now. His voice changed from when he was 11.
Yeah.
So we were in there, and Aiden went in to try and voice match himself when he was like 11. And they thought, well, maybe we can pitch it down higher and make it sound the same. And they weren't able to do it. And then when we were in there, Aiden was listening to his own voice as a 11-year-old or 10-year-old. He's like, that sounds like Brynna. And he said, it sounds like my sister does right now, and she was that age.
Yeah.
And then so we brought her in, and she completely voice matched exactly
Oh,
what he
wow.
sounded like as an 11-year-old boy when she was an 11-year-old girl.
That's awesome.
So, and since then you've actually played quite a lot of boys, because
I
you
think-
found a way to keep that sort of boy voice, because with a girl it doesn't change.
Yeah.
And she can sort of make that boy sound, and obviously you know a lot of these voice actresses that do
Yeah.
boy voices and stuff all the time.
Kathy Winslow.
Because Kathy and Tara and Nicole, they all have, and Tabitha, they got boy voices that they can pull out because they can still make them sound like real boys.
Yeah.
Besides dubbing, I think Babs is probably my first girl role.
Girl role.
Yeah.
And she was kind of a tough girl though. So
Yeah.
she's
So
boyish.
tomboy, yeah.
She's got a
Tomboy.
tomboyish
It's
anyhow.
It's
So
hard for me to get the girly ones.
The
I
really
get a
girly
lot of,
ones.
my man like that.
Well, I even thought Ramadash was a boy for quite a while.
yeah, exactly. You're like, oh.
Until the
that's-
friends who were forcing this upon me were like, no, they're all six of them are girls. I'm like, what?
Rainbow.
Wait a second.
Why, like, okay.
Well, cool.
All right, you.
No.
So,
You
this
got
is your
it,
first guys' con, right?
No, we did a
Yeah.
con about 10 months ago in Cincinnati together.
Okay.
That we did.
Oh,
Cutie
Cutie
Mark, what was it called?
Yeah, Cutie Mark Con.
Cutie Mark
Okay,
Con we
yeah.
did there, which was much smaller. There was like maybe 250, 300 people.
Yeah.
But it was fun. It was a great sort of
You
first
guys had
taste
lots
of
of
things.
fun. No
Yeah.
This was fantastic. Yeah,
awkward
Babscon
moments or
was-
anything. Just all fun.
No, not awkward. I think
Awesome.
the first one might have been because we ended up sort of in the same hotel. It was all kind of crowded with everybody there, and it's just a little
A
interesting
little
when
up
you're
close and personal.
a little up close and
Uh,
personal sometimes at that first one, and for our first
No
Brony Con, it
breathing
was-
area.
yeah, it's sort of like, oh, where do you go? How do you get? But this one was great. It was, and everybody's awesome. I think they've kind of some of the better organizers are really pulling things
Yeah.
off to find a way to manage it and crowd control and figure out where to have people. And this one was spread out pretty well. And
Yeah.
it was really done well and really fun. Great organizers, and the fans are phenomenal too. Everybody's just great.
Yeah.
It's a good time.
All right. Well, thank you guys for your
All
time.
right, nice chatting with you.
Thank you very much.
All right, thanks a lot. And that's all she wrote.